Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are For Those with Good Taste. I'm Lenny,
I'm Matt.
and welcome to our new show, Beyond the Banks.
Welcome.
It's good to have you here. Matt, first of all, I want to ask how you doing. We should start with the appropriate way. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. And you know what? I'm glad you asked because not a lot of people do nowadays.
You don't never necessarily always start off with the niceties all the time anymore, and it's good
So-
to just slow things down and say hello.
People are always trying to get right down to business.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm okay with it, it's really refreshing that you asked, man. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm good. It is funny you did say down to business because I do want to get there if we could.
I mean, straight down to it.
We don't have all day.
That's all right. Small talk out of the way. Let's fucking do this.
If you could allow me a few moments, Matt, I'd like to talk to the people.
Yeah, if you want to go on a diatribe, that's fine.
A bit of one. So, people, we've said this a bunch of times. We're back. Like, hey, it's been a while. Good to see you. And it is kind of that scenario again, right, Matt?
I don't want it to be, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. It's been a
Yeah.
little while.
Yeah.
And not for lack of effort. I think that's what I'll get around to here is it's for a lot of effort. But yeah, we're back. And I think the goal of this episode 1 of our new show, Beyond the Banks, it's only appropriate to kind of, I think, explain where we've been, what's been going on, and
You can't technically know where you're going. Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay.
No, do it.
I didn't want to do it.
No, I think you should finish it.
But it's apropos.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't know where you're going until you know where you've been.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, we're talking about journeys, and we're not speaking
What?
sneakers. We're not speaking sneakers.
Why are you using all my words that you said I can't use?
Well, I got to burn through them now before we
God damn it. You're limiting my vocabulary already.
So, what has been happening? We've been recording. We've been recording a lot, actually, for a while now.
Like, the behind-the-scenes hard drive is really full, dude.
So much so, Matt, that, when they see episode 1, actual episode 1, the pilot, we're going to have a tan. I'm going to be bald.
The amount of different haircuts that people are going to see, it's going to get wild.
You're going to see how I got here. It's actually kind of nuts. It's going to be sad as fuck when I have to watch, damn, you've gained that much weight.
And, dude, I had that bald week got really crazy.
It's like a hibernation thing, though, people. You get it.
Yeah, we were eating grass and filling up our butt, dude.
Yeah, I only eat veggies. So it's kind of like we've been squirreling away nuts for a while now. Episodes, I mean, of course.
Those are the other videos that we don't tell anybody about.
But I do think it's important in here to say, it's been building up to now have a release.
You saying there's going to be a climax?
It's about to be time. The episodes are going to be coming, we promise. What kind of got hung up in here, I think, though, is a little bit of two things, right? It's and this time I'm speaking to the creators out there. And I still don't say that lightly because I do think we both have an appreciation to the people who actually, are able to dedicate all the time in the world to it. I think sometimes you struggle with, the time necessary, right? And I'm hoping, just to give some context,
It's an endless conversation that we've had a lot about the efforts and pain and trials that go into putting together content and actually having it come out. That's really what this has really been about.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's it's also a writer's block, I think, is a thing, but it's not writers. We're not writing.
Brain
but it
fart.
Is you want to you put stuff out into the world, and I think you get kind of caught up in how good it's going to be, and some weeks are easier than others. So I really wanted to just kind of say, we're back. We were working our asses off, and we have some really cool shit to come. And I think what's really cool about the way we've done this now is we have recorded a bunch of stuff that you're going to get to see. And I think we have a different perspective now. And what I wanted to talk about for a little bit and say to the people out there is we are still the same idiots, as you've probably deciphered in about 4 minutes here, 5 minutes. Literally, we're stupid. But no
I
offense.
hope you're speaking for yourself, man, because you're being really hurtful
I can only
right
speak
now.
for myself, dude.
Okay.
I'm an idiot.
That's okay.
My bad, brother. Ricochet shots.
No, I'll take that with you. I'm an idiot also.
But at the same time, it's been pretty crazy, and I want to reflect on some of it without giving away any of it. So, Matt, I want to start with something. A lot of the people who have watched us in the past don't know what this show is, and I think a lot of the people, ideally, people are watching this for the first time who don't know who we are, right? And they're just fans of Outer Banks, I think is our hope.
That's fair to say.
So I also want to kind of talk to them a little bit in here and like introduce ourselves a bit. So, the show was newer to you than it was to me initially. And I just kind of wanted to get two things from you. I wanted to like your initial, like, were you optimistic on the show, not optimistic? Let's start there.
I wish we could go back in time because there is definitely video of me saying, what the hell do you have me watching? Because I think the first 3 episodes, it took me quite a bit of time to really appreciate what the show is, the relationship that these people have together that actually helps really tell the story. I wasn't into it for the first couple episodes. It was hard to buy into the story, and then it kind of just escalated. And slowly but surely, the ride just continues to take you to even higher, greater heights.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of forgot about, like, initially we've obviously just been recording this stuff and recording our stuff talking for a long time now. And we definitely went through when this show was first coming out. It was probably like early days of us recording stuff. And it was probably very evident that you were like not, I'm pretty good. I think I have a good track record. Speaking of which, people, if we're getting real time with it, check out the movie The Jacket. It's featuring Adrian Brody.
You said you wouldn't do this.
It's from 2005. It's about a Gulf War irrelevant. Just look it up. I'm good at this stuff, right? I think I pride myself on my ability to give a recommendation. And in this...
I'm striking all this from the record. You can continue if you want to. It's gone.
So I threw a recommendation out there to Matt. I had developed the clout with you to say that I know good TV.
I hate that credibility is no longer a word that gets any type of credibility.
Nah, clout, dude.
But you're all about the clout.
I'm a clout chaser.
Listen, man, I told you, Adrian Brody isn't getting any daylight on this show. All right? So we're going to make a note of it. That's going to get cut. Recommendations in the chat. Completely disregard that.
Seriously, if you know what that movie is, that's a deep cut. So I pitched this show to you. And for me, I'll speak at least. Personally, it touches on a lot of stuff that if you watch this, you know that I'm interested in.
Yeah, you're a huge fan of Dawson's Creek and Teen Wolf.
You've hit it on the head.
I know.
I can't. I'm not going to run from that. I am.
You can't. It's like quicksand. You're stuck in it. It defines you.
I could give
You're
you
dead.
10 minutes right now about how there's not enough chick flicks on like streaming platforms anymore, like new ones. Like I could give you like a long talk, but I think this show spoke to me in that regard because I grew up. I remember the first time I saw the OC. Like, isn't that fucking weird? Like, I remember like loving that show.
It's weird for some people, but when it comes to you, I'm not surprised at all.
It's like I remember like it was the summer. Like they ran like the first 4 episodes in like the middle of summer, so we were all still home. Like we hadn't gone back to school just yet, and I got to see a couple of the episodes of this show before.
Thanks for not assuming I was in summer school, man. Thanks.
Never would.
Appreciate that.
You're too smart. Remember earlier it was like we're both fucking idiots.
I know, but I know what you say behind closed doors.
So this show just, I think, spoke to some of that for me. But at the same time, we're adults, right? Like, I understand that. Like, I have grown past the person of that, too. And people who watch this know that I'm a big, like, 90s action guy. I'm a big, like Indiana Jones is, like, fantastic, right? Like, I love...
No matter how many they come out with, you will always watch it.
It's not even just that, too, right? It's like, remember, like, Sahara?
Like Matthew McConaughey.
That's the type of movie I'm talking about, right? Like
Steve Zahn.
I love
Penelope
the video
Cruz.
games that are like that too. Like I love Uncharted. I love these like games that you are kind of a treasure hunter. And
where were you on Red Dead Redemption?
Surprisingly, not into it, but that's a whole other podcast because like I don't like games that have really repetitive stories and like take too long. Not the story, but like the missions.
I gotcha.
It's like Grand Theft Auto. I'm just not a huge fan.
There's hours of meaningless gameplay. It's not for me. But continue.
I would just end up running around the world endlessly and never stopping.
Shooting horses. I get it.
So, I think this show just kind of spoke to all of that. And what I wanted to ask you next, Matt, is what was the first time in the show? Because I at least remember this. I want to know if you do. What was the first time in the show that you really, like, it piqued your interest? It caught your eye?
John B. finding the compass.
Okay.
Because that's when I kind of felt like the substance was starting to take place. There was some type of meaning to his father going missing. Maybe that there's a lot more than meets the eye with the show. And that's kind of where I feel like it peaks and not peaks because then that means that it doesn't get better. I feel like that's where it starts to really start taking a hike up and continue to get interesting.
So for me, it's actually like, dude, it's when I was thinking about this, and also to let people know behind the scenes, like, I did not prep Matt on any questions. So he's giving you his real-time thoughts. I've actually got to think about this a little bit. So that's where I've clearly like fleshed out maybe this a bit more in that, like, I think I knew immediately.
Really?
Not immediately, but like in the episode 1.
Okay.
The scene on the beach with the gun.
Oh, okay.
I think it was
it is one of the
like,
realest parts of the show.
It's like, I think it was just an attention grabber. Like, and you think right down to the like gun firing, right? Like you could be like on your phone watching whatever. Like in my mind, I feel like I have a recliner in my room, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting in that chair and I feel like I'm watching that show and we're in the midst of a pandemic. So there's nothing really going on. You're just at home, I believe, at this point. And I feel like I'm like watching, like I'm on my phone because I always just put shit on and you lose
There's always
yourself,
background
right?
noise and you lose yourself screaming, streaming or scrolling.
Yeah, and I feel like the gun pops off and like I'd already been passively paying attention, but then I'm like, wait, what's going on up here? And
Wait a minute. So it wasn't enough for a guy to be almost drowned in a huge fist fight?
Yeah,
popping off wasn't enough to catch your attention?
You know, maybe I'm like figuratively like painting the picture, but like, you know, I think it was that scene was one of the first moments in my head that I was really like, okay, there might be something here.
I think the action will captivate you, but for me to believe that there was some type of substance, something that could really carry this show into the end of the season, for me, finding that compass and being able to put together a story behind everything really does it for me. But I can understand how for you, that brings up that teenage drama that I think you kind of live for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think to maybe sell the people on this that watch us normally that aren't. This isn't. I guess the thing I realize in this is that when I had to tell Matt about this show, when I've had to tell other people about this show, I think there's initial hesitation. But I will say this, everybody: you're always looking for something to watch, right? Mm-hmm. There's always a need content to find something to watch, and I think it's important, and something I preach on this show often for any of the new viewers, is like you've got to find stuff that is just easy to watch. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying that I think Jack Ryan has a new season coming out soon, and I've never watched Jack Ryan. This is an assumption. I speak in assumption.
We're sorry, John Krasinski. We do love you.
I actually really want to watch the show. No, it's just somewhere in the plethora of things you want to watch. That's
why I apologize for you.
But I feel like I have to pay attention probably to some of that show.
It's not
right?
something you have can go scrolling through your phone.
You have to be watching. And I think with this show is very aware of what it is. And that's another thing I always will give big kudos to, credence, and kudos to.
All of those.
It's something that I will always like put shine on, is being very aware of what you are in this show. I will never lie to you. I think is very aware of what it is. And to Matt's point, the camaraderie between the main four, I think, is always going to drive the ship. But the story's kind of crazy. It gets nuts at all turns. And we've got 2 seasons to kind of work through here. So last thing I want to kind of talk about, Matt, and what I want to hear from you is the season of what we've done so far of this show.
I wish at this point you just put in a little montage of everything that we've been through over these last couple of weeks.
Maybe I'll throw maybe there's a way I could find something.
Or
like
maybe we just imagine it.
It's so hard to find like that one scene that defines everything, but I feel like there's probably
it's
line.
Been crazy.
What I'll try and do right here, and we'll work on this actually after we're done, is we need to find one out of context thing, and I'll just drop it in right there. It won't make any sense to you.
Won't.
But you will have to watch to find out the sense that it does make.
Yeah, we're going to get you hooked in.
And he's approached by his drug dealer. Larry, what was his name?
It's Barry. Do you think it's hygienic to snort coke off of the seat of your dirt bike where you sit and place your asshole?
I don't think it's hygienic to snort coke off of anything. How about that? How about that, America? Not a drug user, right?
With that.
And this show will do this immediately. One of the standout things about the show also is like cliffhangers. Like this show is like a fucking cliffhanger. We're gonna be releasing episodes. I think ideally, I don't want to put this 100% on paper, but probably weekly-ish.
Let it bubble up like a slow gin fizz.
We'll keep you in the loop a little bit more on that. But like what I guess my point is, you are going to be wanting to see the next episode as this kind of keeps going. At least I think so. And I hope what you find with us is like the more and more we got into the show, the more and more it just gets off the rails for us, because like the theories are fucking flying loose. The responses to what's happening, I think we have different perspectives because we've watched this show before. This isn't our first rodeo.
We've watched the show before, but we made it a point to take a different approach with this, watching it on a week-to-week basis, which isn't something that people are still doing nowadays, which I think is something important to point out. Because if you're watching the show, be careful with watching the trailer, because that's where I kind of got stuck, and I was like, what the hell do you have me watching? Like any show, it's going to be a slow burn, but once it starts burning, this mother catches on fire, and we don't need no water. We're going to let it burn because it gets awesome really quickly.
I said Indiana Jones earlier. The trailer has recently come out for that, and I've not watched it yet. I guarantee I will enjoy that movie so much more because I will not watch that fucking trailer. I'm not going to see it.
Hashtag no trailers.
So, in closing, Matt, I don't know if you have anything left to kind of sell the people on it. I just wanted to remind them who the fuck we are.
Let them know what Wu-Tang's about.
But let them know who we are. Anybody new, like, we want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Check out some of the other stuff. Like, I think it gives a pretty good idea what we're into. This is probably the most, ridiculous at many a moment. We promise you ridiculous. I think it's probably one of the most in detailed things we've done and like really looked at something. But at the same time, it's kind of a breeze. So we hope you enjoy it and stick around. Let us know if you're going to be watching the show.
For those who have been fans for years, it's got all the good stuff that you used to, but we've definitely done our homework this time.
Yeah, and if you've watched the show before, like, dude, this is a different way to look at it. Trust us.
Definitely.
On that one. I think that's all, right, Matt?
Yeah, we can let them get right into it, definitely.
I should have been upfront at the beginning and also said there's going to be like a shameless plug at the end where we ask you to like the video. If you could follow us, if this is YouTube, I generally just like act like I'm talking as if it's only on YouTube, but we obviously have a lot of audio out there too.
Yep.
You can find us everywhere: iTunes, Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Google Podcasts. You can find us on Stitcher, Spotify,
Deezer,
Pandora, iHeartRadio.
You heart something, dude. Yeah, definitely.
I heart you.
Yeah, but mainly if you find the way that you want to take in the content, drop a like, drop a comment, maybe tell a friend, and just let us know what you think of the show.
And until you see us, hopefully next week, we love you. Peace.
We do.
For those with good taste.